So today, I'm going to teach you guys a technique to how to perpetually meditate from this moment forward. Now, some of you who follow me might have already seen my video of an impression of somebody meditating. This is the video that received a comment on TikTok saying, catch it here before it goes viral. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to see it before it goes viral, guys. Well, now that you've gotten an in-depth point of view of what it's like to be meditating and what happens when you start to achieve when you're meditating, that you kind of just realize you're this vessel for the experiencing of sensations and emotions and stuff, I think you're now ready for this life-changing tip. This life-changing tip that once I share it with you, you'll be meditating perpetually from this moment forward. And guys, once I share this, there's no going back. So I'm going to give those of you who are a bit skeptical about this lifestyle change a chance to step away from the screen, if you'd like. Okay, now that those who've chickened out, chicken shit, too scared of sitting with their emotions and feeling who they really are as a being of consciousness are out of the way. And those of you who are with me, I assume, want to take your meditation to the next level. Here is, in an instant, that life-changing tip or moment that will have you in meditation perpetually. And that tip is that anything you've ever done, will do, or could be doing is already written in stone. Yes, guys, it's that age-old determinist fate bullshit. But think about it. If you decided to believe it, if you lived like it was true, then you'd be accepting that the most that you ever are is just an observer in a vessel. And if you were to actually contemplate that in the midst of any moment, you might be in the midst of like having a nervous breakdown, getting really angry at something, about to, I don't know, jumping out of his plane for your first skydiving experience, and you're having fears about it maybe, wondering what could go wrong, then think to yourself, no matter what I do, I've done it already. It's the only thing I could ever be doing. And then you can take that moment and look around you. And observe what you had no choice but to be a part of. Now, some of you at home might be laughing, but really, or scoffing, but really, I think this is an underrated philosophical point of view. I mean, if you think about it, there's probably some weight to it because it subsumes so many of the other larger esoteric beliefs, such as oneness. If everybody is just, a song running on the groove of a record player as the needle slides across it, a bit like Shiva and Shakti meeting at the point of existence, consciousness and manifestation, neither of them conscious of what they're moving into, but the grooves are already written and the needle already has a way to play the music and the song has already been recording to that sweet, sweet groove, sexy, sexy piece of existence that you and me are right now. Then you could think of all this as oneness. You could think of all this as the masterful copulation of the feminine and masculine divine. You could think of it as non-dual at the same time. You could think of it as non-gendered for all those people who prefer a spiritual point of view that is non-gendered. You could think of it as just one. You, me, my couch, the wall behind me, the mantelpiece. Either it has a story and it was created and it's separate from me, or it's all an illusion. Everything or nothing, separate or one whole, being played at the same time. Too big for any of us to really discern. Enlightenment, guys. Just by giving up on the idea that you have free choice. What? You don't like that? Does it make you feel scared? Does it make you feel unimportant? Does it make you feel like You can't be doing more. Well, you will be doing more if you'll be doing more, so don't worry about it. And if you won't have any reason to resent yourself or regret or compare with others, unless you were going to do that anyway. But that means it was just written into your time. So if you wanted to let go from the stress of that moment, you go, oh, I guess I was meant to resent, regret, compare, and judge right now. So well, I guess I'll just let myself. You ever tried that with anything? You ever tried staying in an emotional state with the steam of going, I'm going to stay in this emotional state? You know what happens? Presence, being, meditation, guys, is happening. You're starting to believe. You will leave this video being in a meditative state forever, perpetually from here on out, if you just decide to join my cult of fatalists, destiny believers, where there is no free choice. Get rid of your free choice. It's not feeding you. It's only feeding the ego. But if you had no choice but to feel the ego, then even feeling the ego is an illusion. And so don't worry, you don't have to have a spiritual ego. You're already enlightened. Even the spiritual ego is an illusion. It's a joy of what you couldn't help but do. So we could all look at and know that we're not doing it. We wouldn't know that unless we were meant to. And actually wouldn't be meant to do anything, because there would be no meaning. There would just be seeing meanings in things, which is what happens. And it would all just start to look really, really weird. Why don't you try that now, guys? Why don't you just spend the day imagining that it was all written this way? And then show this video to your friend and have them try it with you. And then maybe throw a party where a bunch of people together could celebrate that as a theme of the night. See how weird it gets. Maybe nothing moves. Maybe it grows even bigger than that. Let's have stadiums full doing this. Not for any specific purpose, but just for the sheer fun of it, for the sheer joke. Because I don't know about you, but when I start to explore this notion, two things happen to me. Either I get filled with dread that, I'm going to experience whatever the hell I'm going to experience, and really there's no point in, competing, comparing, striving, except that I was going to in the first place. Guys, I think it's quite plausible. I want to make a case for it. Anybody ever seen Darren Brown shows on Netflix, where he takes an unsuspecting person and puts them through this kind of mentalist minefield where they're on a pre-programmed state of being human, leaving them to do something in the end that wasn't their choice, but was only the result of a bunch of conscious cues? Well, who says we don't just have a bunch of random conscious cues happening around us all the time? All the time. And it's programming us and not we're programming it, until you start to believe in manifestation type stuff like we're programming it. And then it flip-flops. But maybe you're just born who you are with the experiences you are, which gives you, even when you get to that level of spirituality, the level of control, discipline, skill with that stuff. And, Joe Rogan could be the only person that ever becomes Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan was the only person ever born as Joe Rogan. Everybody finding their individual voice is not even a thing you do. It's just something you are. And a voice is an illusion. And when you start to look at it that way, when you start to go deep into it that way, let's just explore it a bit further, guys. Then we're just part of the oneness. Again, oneness. You are a result of everything that you are not. And maybe, I don't know. Maybe we're just a speck a moment in time of the organism of time, which is doing its thing, which is either predetermined or just a running track of it. Growing, expanding. But I like this as a, the more I dig into it, I like it as a cult idea. Because I think, why not use this line of thought to kind of try and, instead of create industries that aimlessly hope to make money, although, they were meant to do that in the first place. Why not have spiritual mentalists run the show and have them design labyrinths that make for a better society? Allow people to transmute their shadows and stuff, just like Darren Brown does with that Republican he makes take a bullet for a Mexican immigrant who's crossing the border. But maybe that is our experience anyway. Maybe that is why we are just the illusion of healing, because we're all calling each other to doing this all the time anyway. Do you feel that? Do you feel that joy? Do you feel that inner joy? Do you feel like things are all right all of a sudden? Do you feel like believing in fate is actually quite liberating? What if we just kind of infuse that kind of joy into our industries, into our everyday, into our speed of life, into what we can do right now with the technology that we have, into what we do with the time we want to pass, into activities that just serve as a meta notion of what I've just said. It's exploring this idea of fate that made me come up with the idea for a workshop where to counteract all the stuff that just kind of happens. I would call it the you are your own God workshop. You are God workshop. You are the Darren Brown simulator. In a human vessel, in a person, with a voice. Guys, this is going to happen soon. Let's get a venue. I'll design it. Come with ticket prices. You guys just hit me up for the date. And what happens is we get in there. Maybe we spend a retreat. Yeah, let's do it. Retreat, 3 days. A weekend in Devon. And the whole thing is, we got to make it through for 3 days. There'll be grueling challenges. There'll be obstacles to overcome. Darren Brown, hit me up if you like this idea. Let's work together, dude. I fucking love you, man. And what we do is the rules are, let's put money involved. Let's make it a TV show. Put money involved. Let's make it a TV show. Because, humans will do anything for money. So a workshop, you get paid to be put through. And we film to other people. Guys, this is the future of entertainment right here. And what it is that nobody can really do anything unless they're told by someone else they want them to do that. Except, so you can talk, but then even to feed yourself and stuff, you got to give someone else permission. And we'll go into how precise the rules need to be. Yeah. Anyway, guys, this was an episode on how to make you meditate forever. But like a crummy, greedy, written into time, ego-filled human being, like everyone else, I won't leave you on that note of making you feel like you are stuck in a meditation. I'm going to take this with me and leave it on a note. I'm going to create a TV show with this shit and put people through it. Dedicated Space Cadet. Over and out. Gotcha, guys. New channel, Dedicated Space Cadet. Like and subscribe.